Did this for a living for like 10 minutes. You were on the radio.
Yeah.
You would think you'd be a little more used to it.
Yeah, but radio, we didn't have cameras in the studio. So I showed up looking like hot trash 5 mornings of the week, like 5 days of the week. And I was so sleep deprived. I don't even know what the fuck came out of my mouth. Well, that didn't, because I would have been fined and fired. I can tell you that.
FCC would not have liked that. So guys, for those of you who are obviously you can see if you're watching the video, but if you're listening, we have back for round 2. She loved us so much. She agreed to actually come back now and be on video. Like it's more like proof now that you're actually on the show.
That I'm real?
That you're real.
Yeah.
Yeah. Brittany Brave is back with us, everybody. Let's welcome her back.
Hi. Oh my God, there's a laugh track. Oh my God, that's a bigger response than I've ever gotten in Doral at the Improv. Holy shit. It's crazy. Thank you for having me.
Of course.
We couldn't do video last time, even if it was available to us, because I came in on the tail end of the nastiest sinus infection.
That's right.
And towards the end of the interview, I was having so much fun talking to you guys, and I was in a fleece sweater, and I was battling like the plague, like something was going on. I was dripping in sweat. I think I sweat out my fever.
You're welcome.
Thank you. The first time on the show. So we couldn't have done video even if it was a thing. But
you still looked cute. Like, I feel like only you can make fever look cute.
Thank you. I would have really killed back when the Black Plague was trending. Guys would have been like, God, she looks so pale and clammy. And
it's like stand up, but make it bubonic.
Right. Because she's so attractive when she's weak and frail and her immune system is compromised.
Next time we do our third round is literally just going to be you and me on fainting couches.
I would love that. Yeah, naked maybe. You know, we'll figure it out.
We'll see,
This feels like a good studio to get naked in. It's very Miami.
like naked or Miami naked?
What is the difference between naked and Miami naked?
So there's naked, but Miami naked is where you keep your expensive shoes on.
Because, girl, they cost a lot of money.
Listen, there's a reason you're living in that efficiency, okay?
That's so true, because you blew all your money on a pair of Louboutins. Exactly. That is so fun. That is Miami naked.
Yeah.
Miami naked is like, here's the nipples, here's whatever.
Right.
But also, like, I'm not going to take off my bling because obviously.
What are we new here?
What are we new here?
Yeah.
Yeah, smart. Miami naked. Okay, cute.
Yeah, so Miami naked, just coined a new phrase.
Cute.
So last time you were on the show, we talked about a lot of stuff on the show.
We got into it.
We got really into it. And we may not get as into it this time around, but we'll see where it goes.
Just the tip.
Just the tip. That's a different show.
But it's not this show.
No, that records here on Tuesdays.
And it's Miami naked.
Yes. But no, since the last time, your podcast.
Yeah.
I am listening to I'm going to get it wrong. Big Yikes.
Big Yikes.
So I have to say I've been listening.
Oh, cute.
And not just because of you, but also because you've had some great guests. You've had, friends of the pod like Jason Carter. You've had Lucy Lopez. I mean, these are people who've been on the show. We love them. They're friends. So I just wanted to ask, did you follow Lucy's advice and buy the land in Ocala and freeze your eggs? In that order or reversed. I don't know. I don't want to put pressure on you.
Yeah. I think no and no. Let me answer the question.
Okay.
No and no. Okay. It was practical advice, but I don't think I'm quite at rock bottom yet to where buying property in Ocala is feasible.
Okay.
The day that I do actually make moves towards doing that, someone come check on me. I'm not in a good headspace. And you know what's funny is I actually think that you could buy property in Ocala for cheaper than you can for freezing your eggs, because I have looked into freezing my eggs because a bitch is about to be 34 in 3 months and nobody wants me.
Oh, shut up.
Well, no, I'm so single.
It's okay. But you're single, but I'm gonna defend you to you.
Okay.
All right.
Please.
I feel like you're single by choice because damn, you are focused on your career. Like you are
Yeah.
out there kicking ass and taking names on it.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
You know, you can't just do that if you're like trying to also nurture a relationship. I mean, you can, but you're so focused, so razor focused right now that I think that's the priority.
Yeah, thank you. I will backpedal on that. And to be serious for a second, I am single by choice. It is by choice. My choice.
I like that you defined my choice. Like,
and theirs too. There were some men who had a choice and they chose no. So let's be honest. Okay. Everybody's free but you understand the power of choice, pro-choice.
there you go. That's
See,
what we're voting for, right?
We have an election in a week, so I'm stressed out. That's what we're voting for. Honey. Okay.
Yeah. Brittany's ability to be single. That's the pro-choice.
That's the pro-choice
what's on the ballot.
platform. Yeah. It's all a choice. I am single by choice. And I do want to backpedal and say something sincere about that because I do feel like women and specifically female comedians, there tends to be a self-deprecating womp womp narrative over singledom. Mm-hmm. And I also think in society, people don't believe that women can like truly be happy being single. It's always like, oh, but you know, you would. One of my former coworkers, who I'm not going to mention on this podcast because a lot but a probably know her. Anyway,
well, there we go.
Yeah.
Whittled it down a little bit.
Whittled it down. But I remember, you know, she's married and older, and I'm very not married and very laser focused on my career. And when I was at the radio station, everyone's going to guess who it is and I don't give a shit. But I had volunteered for a community event at like 7 a.m. on a Saturday in Broward. Ooh. Right. Living on the beach at the time. So, you know, that's a schlep, right? As my New York family would say. And I said, no, I'll do it. This is great. I want to come help, whatever. And she had turned to me in this like really dismissive, condescending tone, which she was, you know, known for. She did commonly. And she was like, you wouldn't volunteer for all this if you had someone who wanted to be in bed with you.
Pero.
Yeah. She was like, oh, if you have like a man and you had somebody that was like cuddling you in the morning, like you wouldn't volunteer for all this. You'd stay in bed. You know that and whatever. And I was like, first off, ew. Just like the whole thing is like very shamey over like, oh, you're young and have energy and you're focused on your career and you're single. How dare you? And I was like, no, I probably still would volunteer for these things. Right. And, you know, but yeah, where was I going with this? Single by choice, laser focused. And I do hate the bullshit narrative whenever people like you can have both, but I hate that bullshit narrative when people are like, no, you can perfectly equally. No, you can't. No, you can't. Because it's like anything else in your life. If you're going to give 10% more here, 10%'s got to go from somewhere else.
Yeah, that's math.
That's math. That's a pie chart.
Yeah, it's a Venn diagram.
It's a Venn diagram. Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, I'm single and laser focused. So I have looked into freezing my eggs. I did take Lucy's advice on that, and that shit is expensive. So.
Yeah, it's not cheap.
Yeah, I might start a GoFundMe for freezing my eggs. Honestly, I'm not. You know. Anyways, yeah,
I say do it. But we're about to lose you to New York.
We are.
You're going back.
Yes.
Part of me is like upset about it because you're not going to be like, you know, here and doing things, but I'm happy for you. But I'm also happy for you in a very interesting way. Okay. Because, you know, anybody who heard our last episode with you heard, you know, about your relationship and everything you went through the last time when you were living in New York. And I almost see like you going back to New York, not just from a career perspective of like, I'm going to prove I can make it or, you know, whatever, be Mary Tyler Moore. But I see it from the perspective of like, no, that situation in that city did not best me. And now I'm going back and I'm going to prove that I'm going to fucking kick ass.
I love that. Thank you. Yeah, I'm a big believer in reclaiming cities after breakups, reclaiming your favorite food or that album or that city. And I did travel with that very abusive ex quite a bit. So in the 6 years since I've been, you know, out of that relationship, luckily, I feel like I've reclaimed a lot of cities that were tarnished based on like really bad memories with him, and New York is one of them. And in general, like I moved to New York fresh out of college, right? Like next to no money in my bank account, but also didn't need a lot of money and just wanted to get there. Yeah. And I did it as best as I could, but also all wrong. Right? Because you're young and you're an idiot and you're living in New York and you just got your first real freaking job, and what is savings, like, you know what I mean, like you're just like putting everything on a credit card, going why I had never lived in Manhattan proper at that ever.
You were living in Manhattan.
I started in Jersey, and then I slowly crept my way to Brooklyn, and then I was in Queens. I actually never lived in Manhattan. And now, God willing, like we talked about off camera, if it comes through, I will be living in Manhattan. So I do feel, because of him, but in general, 1,000%, I get to come back to New York like well equipped now. And I will jump off a building if within the 6 months to a year of me being back in New York, there's another global pandemic that kicks me the fuck out. I will be so mad, because that's what happened the last time. Okay, but yeah, like it's the same way with Miami, right? Like I grew up in Miami, and when I came back as an adult, I love it even more than I ever did before.
You appreciate it.
And I think I get a take two on New York now. Like I'm smarter and older, and I've got better money now, sort of. And I just know the city, so I know what traps to avoid. And you're 100% right. I can rewrite a lot of stuff now. Yeah.
You're a little older, right? So you're walking in with a little bit more knowledge of the do's and don'ts.
Yes, 100%.
Hopefully.
Yeah, and self-control. And I've just paid off the very credit cards that buried me in debt in my 20s.
Congratulations on that alone. Shit.
Yeah, thanks. 2 of the credit cards I just did. And it's like, I don't know if you did this in your 20s too, but like it was blowouts, it was drinks with friends, it was plane tickets, it was manicures, it was like the dumbest shit. But you're like young and in New York, and you're like swipe, 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 and I'm like, Discover should have a plan for, I was a fucking moron in my 20s. Can you help me out, please?
They do. It's called bankruptcy.
Hey, don't judge a book by its chapter 11. Exactly. Okay? That's what I always say.
I like that.
Yeah, use it. Take it.
I'm stealing it. Yeah,
it's yours.
It's on film, so it's credited to you, but I'm stealing it.
Take it. Yes. Yeah. But I'm excited. I'm sad to leave Miami, but I am excited to make Miami proud.
Yeah. Well, speaking of making Miami proud, you're gonna be headlining at the Arsht.
Yeah.
On November 23rd.
Yeah. Yeah.
How did that happen? How did that come about? I mean, it should, but how? Because I don't even know of many comedians that play at the Arsht. I could be wrong. I feel like, it's always the comedy clubs, or if they're touring, like a certain big name might do like
Hyena Theater or Fountain Blue or whatever.
Or even like, the Hard Rock and things like that. But are you one of the first comedians in the Arsht?
I believe I am the first. Yeah. So I think technically Jay Leno X amount of years ago did like a stand-up hour of talking or whatever, but listen, he's not from Kendall. And
I was gonna say, like, we can aggregate you're the first female comedian from Kendall of Italian descent.
Just check all the fucking boxes. It's like I'm applying to college. I'll be gay if I need to be. I'll dye my hair, like whatever it is. That's what being a publicist is. You're just like, we are the first and the female and the kind of bisexual from Kendall. Here we go.
I like the kind of.
Kind of. Yeah, well, I don't have the time to really sort it out, but I know what's true in my heart. And it's that I should date women.
I don't have time to sort it out.
I don't have time to figure this out. It's just, even though, like, would I really be figuring it out? Because, like, I know what I'd be going into. But, like, yeah, I don't have time.
It requires time.
I really think I stayed fucking and dating straight men and being straight because I was like, it's what I know. And it's like, yeah, when I get time at someday, I'll explore everything else I want to explore.
Right. Maybe by then there'll be like a U-Haul loyalty card.
Something. Yeah. And the Discover bankruptcy card and all of it.
It'll all work out.
Yeah. No, I'm going to say this to claim it because I feel like I haven't claimed it for myself, and I've been doing a lot of promo and saying it, and it's been cool to receive. But like, yes, Arsht Center reached out to me.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Like everyone was like, oh, did your agent, did whatever? And I was like, no, it wasn't even on my radar as a goal. And I only say that because of exactly what you said. They don't really do comedy or do stand-up. So it's not that I didn't want to perform there. It just
wasn't a thing.
It just wasn't a thing. Like I was like, okay, well, and I honestly wasn't even going to do any headlining things in Miami because what I love about our city but hate is that I do feel like you can hit the ceiling quickly.
Right.
At least with comedy. I'm not going to speak on behalf of art, music, drugs, whatever else. I think you can go on forever with those things. But with comedy, you're kind of like, oh, okay.
Right. I'm going to correct. I feel drugs has a ceiling too, but okay.
Sure. And that is called overdosing.
Yes.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. But yeah, I do feel like I just was like, okay, I've headlined the Improvs twice and they've been so good to me. We love them. You know, their family, sold them out. Amazing. Great.
Right. That's where you met Junior.
Correct. So I met your producer, Junior, who I did not even recognize when I walked in. Because he looks like his shirt is like he's a dad on vacation. You look like Chevy Chase, Christmas Vacation. Tinted orange glasses, this fruity shirt. I love it. Marlins hat. They're not even in the fucking World Series. Fuck this guy. Okay. Yeah. So it wasn't a goal, and they had reached out, and I was just trying to get back to New York and just focus on other cities. And I am the first comedian. Yeah, like they want to hopefully maybe do more stand-up. And they were like, we want you to lead the charge. We're all fans. Would you be interested? And I was like, would I be interested in making history? Yes, honey. So I'm excited. It's going to be a really special night and set.
It's 2 sets, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's what is it, 7:30, 9:30?
A 7 and a 9:30.
Yeah.
And there is a meet and greet. There is an after party, yada, yada.
Well, it's Miami. Of course it's an after party.
Let me say, you have no idea the amount of people that are like, does my ticket get me into the after party? I'm like, yeah, the first like X amount for every. Can you just go to the fucking set, please? Can you save the after party energy for the fucking after party? And people are like, and what about the after? I was like, bitch, I'm about to be 34. There's no after party. There's one after party. That's it. My back hurts. So there's an after party, but you got to get your tickets quick. Anyways, yeah, and it's really special too because like not to compare to the Improvs, but like, and they're like so supportive. Like I told them, and it was almost like telling your longtime lover, like I found someone else. Like, and if that's how it felt, I was like, it's not that I don't want to, but like the Arsht Center for Performing Arts reached out to me and they're like, they really want me to do a night. And they were like, oh my God. You're like, yes, it was great. But comedy jargon, like when you're at my level, you don't really get weekends, you know, like you don't get the Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sundays. So that's cool to get a Saturday night. You know,
2 sets on a Saturday.
2 sets on a Saturday night, all for me. And it's also just cool, and no shade to any of the clubs or whatever, but it's very cool to be in like a really nice, sacred, intimate space where I'm not going to get, I mean, he's seen some shit, you know, when I performed many, many times at the Improv and had an amazing time, and many, many times at the Improv and also all comedy clubs across the country, not just them. But he's been there front and center when I'm like, shut the fuck up, like in the middle of my set, you know what I mean? Or like people are popping bottles and stuff. So that's
not going to happen at the Arsht.
It fucking better not.
Right. Well, no, the Arsht is refined.
No, it won't. It won't happen at the Arsht. They won't let it happen.
They have season tickets at the Arsht.
I know.
The people who can afford season tickets are.
Bitch, I'm in a brochure. I'm in a brochure. There's like printed marketing about me. I was like, oh my God, I gotta leave. This is a high note in Miami. I gotta go.
That's it. You're done.
I'm done.
That's it. Yeah.
Even my best friend texted me, and he just moved to Chicago. He's a comic, and he moved to Chicago to pursue comedy more and just switch up from Miami. And he was like, oh my God, what a way to leave. The fucking Arsht Center.
Yeah.
Do it, crush, go. As the first. Get out. And I was like, that's exactly what we're doing.
That's true. But then you're setting a bar, right? You're setting a bar for you and for other people.
Sure.
Because now other local comics can look at it and be like, well, wait a minute.
I didn't know that was possible.
That was possible.
Yeah.
She did it. Now I want to do it. So, you know, like you were saying, it wasn't a goal for you because it just wasn't a thing. It just didn't exist. But now it can be for someone else.
Totally. And I think it's a really good lesson too as creatives to a couple things like, well, my industry changes so much. I don't know if we talked about this in the last episode or not, but like a lot of the things that were benchmarks for up and coming comedians, even just 2 years ago, 5 years ago, literally don't exist anymore. Like Comedy Central, right?
Oh, true, yeah.
You know, like I mean, they still do like digital sets and stuff, but it definitely doesn't carry the weight as it did like 10 years ago when you got 30 minutes on cable TV, or 15 years ago now. I mean, not even 10, really, like 20 years ago now. I'm old. But I think it's a good lesson for creatives to be open to. There are goals and things you can achieve, not to sound cheesy, but that you don't even know. You know what I mean? So like you can end up tying yourself to like, okay, well, Comedy Central and Netflix and then Hulu and then a world tour and then obviously this and then I need this and then I need that and whatever. And A, those things might not exist, and B, you might not get them, but C, you might get something you never even thought. The Arsht, or you might get something that wasn't even available to you or real to you. So that's what's kind of cool. Like you might think nothing's happening for you, but also like you can go and create your own goal. I'm making a docu-special about Miami comedy. That's driving me crazy.
Really?
Yeah. It's coming to an end. I've been making it for the last 2 years. It's
Who hurt you that you decided to take this on
to make a movie?
Yeah, like
well,
with comics.
if you would like to know, listen to the prior appearance on this episode. That's who hurt me.
Yeah, there you go.
And he just beat ambition into me. That's a joke. Happy Domestic Violence Awareness Month. He's dying. Great. Yeah, I
I'm laughing at inappropriate things, and thank you for that.
You're welcome. Yeah. It's been the bane of my existence. Indie filmmaking. I have props to anybody who makes anything, like a web series, a sketch show, a podcast, even, because this shit is expensive and hard. And it's the long game. And we're going to come up on 2 years in December. And we're just now putting the whole thing together. And I'm premiering the first like 15 to 20 minutes of it at New York Comedy Festival next month.
Shit.
Yeah.
Like TikTok.
Yeah. Yeah. So
it's real.
It's real. But it's very cool to see it come together too.
Yeah.
To have my editor be like, here's a first cut of like the first 10 to 12 minutes. And I'm like, oh shit, this is it. Like, it's like, we made it, and it's not completely done, but I'm bringing Ricky Cruz and Ellie Rodriguez with me up to New York. And we're doing a very Miami-fied night at New York Comedy Festival. And then we're premiering it. But, yeah, all that long-winded way to say, like, make your own goals. Don't make a movie. I can't not recommend that enough.
Unless that's one of your goals, I guess.
I guess.
Like, yeah. Maybe?
But again, who the fuck hurt you? Because this shit is hard. I almost got into a fight with one of my comic friends who was like, yeah, like, what's happening? Like, this was like legit, like maybe a year into the process. Not even, I think. And he was like, yeah, like, what's going on with that doc? Like, is that even getting done? Like, what do you, like, where even is that or what? And I was like, do you even like, I was like, do you know how hard this is? Like, I didn't even know. My dumbass was like, let's make a movie about Miami comedy. And then I was a year in and I was like, okay, fuck. I was like, okay, we're going to be in this for another 2.5 years. Great. Wow. So
did you get any, because I know Billy Corbin was on your show. Did you ask him for any tips?
I did actually, and I love him. And he makes a brief appearance in the doc. It's basically BTS of him coming on my podcast, basically is what it is. So it won't be anything that you really haven't heard too much from the pod, but he's amazing. I did his podcast. I forget how I met him or how he saw me or where, somewhere along the Miami lines.
It's Billy Corbin, it's Miami. You at some point you just meet him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Miami's really good about that. Like the people who are really making shit happen and trying to elevate the culture, yourself included, the show included, like you will find each other.
Yeah. Somehow.
Yeah, like your co-host found me in the elevator of Rusty Pelican and shamed me for never being here before.
Yeah. And now we've had you back for a second time.
Yeah. And I've since been back 2 times. So suck it, bitch. Okay. I'm like a VIP now. Okay, their happy hour is amazing. Anyways, okay.
Can't get you out of that elevator now.
Get me out of the elevator, please. But yeah, we're big fans. I love Billy Corbin. I did his podcast, and then I had told him that I was doing this docu-special, and we went out afterwards, and he was so nice, and he like treated me to lunch and drinks, and
nice.
We talked for like nearly 3 hours, and like just got to know each other and talked comedy, but he gave me like a wealth of advice that I'm like forever grateful for. Yeah. He's such a cool, kind, brilliant individual.
Yeah. He's been on a show, like I think season 2, but it was virtual.
Yeah.
And so now that we got these great digs, now you're actually the first of the return guests because we want to have people back. Like we want to do it in
it's
person.
Really exhausting
and
to
video.
Keep making history and being this groundbreaking. It's really...
You're going to have so many plaques.
after I won Miami New Times Best Comedian, I don't even think it's related to them. It's some plaque making company. They still 2.5 years later email me and they're like, Brittany, consider framing the article for your 2022 nod as Best Comedian from Miami New Times. And I'm like, Lisa, I appreciate your hustle. And you have what it takes to make it in sales, but bitch, I'm not. It's over. I've won it already 3 other times. Who the fuck gets plaques anymore? We saw what happened when Dwayne Wade got a statue. Oh my God, he has to hate it, right?
See, the worst part about it is that even if he hates it, he has to go on the record as not hating it, right?
Of course.
So he's got to kind of just be like, no, it looks just like me. You know, like you can almost hear his voice go up at the end, right? Like,
oh yeah. Well, what I think is interesting is, and he's handling it perfectly, is I think if you notice all the commentary around it, he's not really commenting about how the statue looks or presents. It's just like, what an honor. What
well, yeah.
What an honor.
Listen,
yeah.
I don't have a statue of me.
I don't have a statue of me.
You know, you just have something that they keep wanting you to frame. Like,
correct, right?
You don't have a statue.
I was like, Lisa, I wrote back. I was like, where have you been? A lot has happened in 2 years.
It'd be great if Lisa doesn't really exist. She's just like your imaginary journal.
She's probably
like,
AI. Yeah.
You're just like, you tell her all your life every time. You're like, I'm going to give you a little recap, you know?
Lisa, I'm living in New York now. I'm dating a man named whatever. Yeah. Some of these brands, though, it's so true. Like their sales team is either automated or they schedule things out or it is AI. Yeah. Because like, first off, some of these agencies don't even do their research. I've gotten like maternity pills and I'm like,
well, I mean, you did look into freezing your eggs.
That is true. That's probably the targeted ads coming back out. Yeah. That's fair. That's fair. And I like, or they're like, hey, this should help you through your first trimester. And then I delicately write back and I'm like, I don't know how to tell you this, Sandra, but I never made it through a first trimester, if you know what I mean. Like, you know what? I got about 6 weeks in, if you're picking up what I'm putting down.
And it wasn't for you.
And it wasn't for me. I didn't need the neonatal vitamins. Okay.
But they make your hair shiny.
They do. Yeah. I've been taking my mom's menopause vitamins. It's for women over 50. And bro, that's probably why I have no libido when I'm not dating.
What is it supposed to do?
I don't know. But my mom thinks I have a hormonal imbalance, which is her nice scientific way of saying I'm crazy. And she's like, take my vitamins. And she didn't tell me that they were for women over 50. So I was like, okay. My mom's like, they're great. They're for women. They're for women. Like, so it's catered to our bodies. And then one day I was in the kitchen and I was like, they're for women over 50 in menopause. She was like, so you, basically. Like, she's like, it's not you. And I was like, okay.
On the plus side, you could probably fall and not break a bone.
I'm so strong right now. You have no idea.
Because I mean, that calcium is just built up in there.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, you might be calcified, but it's
It's so true. I'm so strong. My bones are so strong. That's why I'm so cranky and I have no libido and my bones are so strong. I'm taking my mom's menopause vitamins.
Well, I can't think of a better place to end the interview than that, honestly.
Yeah. Use code #HotFlash for 20% off mom's menopause Centrum vitamin. You're welcome. Say Lisa and Brittany sent you.
It'd be great if somebody tries to use that promo code though to get tickets for you at the Arsht. Like they're just like
promo code hot flash libido.
Old lady pills.
I tried freeze eggs, hot flash, and menopause, and I can't get the discount for her art. There's no discount, by the way. So sorry, it's the Arsht Center.
But the algorithm that you're gonna get is great now. If you type all that in, you're gonna be served some fun ads.
I'm literally gonna screen grab it and text it to you and be like, I'm concerned. They're listening. Yes.
All right, Brady. So, Arsht Center.
Yeah.
November 23rd.
Yes.
2 shows, which means there's no excuse.
There's literally no excuse.
Yeah. But if you want to do the after party, do the second show.
You could do either. Yeah.
But do the second one. That way you can be like nice and buzzed walking into the after party.
Sure. You know? I don't know what you would do in between the first show ending and the after party.
Well, wait, what time is the after party?
Well, at least 11:30.
Oh, okay.
Late.
Oh, okay. I thought it was more like a 15-minute thing.
No, it's a party.
Oh, it's like a party.
It's a party.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm 45. I don't know how parties work anymore.
Neither do I. Trust me, neither do I. So, and it's at, I guess I could reveal it now. It is at Soho House on Miami Beach.
Ooh, okay, so you need to drive. Yeah. So
yeah.
you're gonna need that that filler time.
Yes, but I'm working on getting like valet covered or whatever for my guests, or like getting it discounted or something. But it is at Soho House, and you'll just be on my guest list. It is limited though, so that's why it's like X amount per show, because we can't fit everybody in.
Right.
But yeah, and also I will say, if you've been to my shows before, thank you. A, first and foremost, and B, there will be new material. There will definitely be stuff you haven't heard. I've kind of cycled out a lot of the Miami jokes. I've cycled out a lot of the stuff you've probably already heard. And it's going to be a lot of election stuff because we're going to have a new president.
Oh, yeah. Either way, yeah.
Either way,
yeah.
Whether we like who it is or not. And there's going to be a lot of personal anecdotes that are very funny, but are darker. And about my experience with domestic violence and just things that I don't have the luxury of doing at comedy clubs or bar shows and stuff. But the Arsht Center is it's a little bit more of like, I think, a one woman show than anything else. Yeah. So it should be special, and it'll definitely be my last big one for...
Especially down here in Miami.
Down here in Miami for a minute. Yeah.
Well, you're saying it should be special, but I will tell you, I know it's going to be special because it's you. It's the Arsht. I mean, what's not to love?
I mean,
what more do you people want? What more do you people want?
Yeah, truly. What the fuck more do you want?
Just buy the tickets already, damn it.
Buy the fucking tickets already. Because you know what? And I'm going to say this. I super sold out the Dania Improv last June. I went ham on tickets, press. And that seat's like 400, 450 or whatever. And I think the Arsht is 5 or 6. So it's close. It's whatever. But last year, a lot, like we had maybe, it wasn't 100. That would be a lot. But it was like 60 or 70 people outside that could not get in, that didn't get their tickets. Like this is like a humble brag. But not really. It's more of like...
That's an accomplishment.
Thank you. I'm proud of myself. But it's also a cautionary tale if you've seen me and you're like, I gotta go and I want... Like, truly get the tickets now. Because I pushed Melissa, the GM. We fit so many people. She was literally texting back like, we are a legal fire hazard. I cannot fit anyone else in. And I was like, but my friend's outside. She's like, well, tell her she's a dumb bitch for not getting the tickets sooner. And I was like... You're a dumb bitch. I'm sorry. Thanks for your support. Like, no. But it will sell out. The early show's almost sold out.
Oh, wow. Well, yeah, you already had 70 people who didn't make the other one. They
I would hope. Yeah, they learned their lesson. But truly get tickets as soon as you can.
Absolutely. All right, guys. Yeah. Again, the one, the only Brittany Brave.
Hi, bye.
Back for a second round. And next time you're here, a third and a fourth and a fifth, whenever the hell you want to swing by.
And whenever the hell I don't have a sinus infection.
Exactly.
I canceled 2 weeks ago because I was like, I can't go on this show again with phlegm running out of my face. I was like, it's not a good look.
The bar has been set. Yeah.
Yeah, and you're like, yeah, we have video now. I was like, we got a rain check. We got a snot check. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much for coming by.
Thank you for having me. I love you. Mwah.